You're 19 years old. You just landed your first real full-time job. It doesn't pay a fortune, maybe $42,000 a year, but it's yours. You did it. You're officially an adult. And then the pressure starts. Your coworkers start asking what you're gonna buy. Your parents are dropping hints about building equity. You're sitting at your kitchen table, staring at your bank account. You have $3,000 saved up. And you are faced with the ultimate crossroads that every young person hits. Do you buy a car first, or do you buy a house? Society tells you that buying a house is the ultimate milestone. Stop throwing your money away on rent, they say. Buy something, build equity. But your commute is an hour and a half on the bus. You're exhausted. So the shiny car at the dealership looks like freedom. Here is what actually happens, and why 90% of young people get this completely backward. Let's start with the car. You walk into the dealership, the smell of new leather hits you. You see a 2022 sedan. It's sleek, it's black, it has a backup camera and Bluetooth. The salesman is smooth. He tells you that for just $350 a month, this car can be yours. You do the math in your head. You take home $2,800 a month. Rent is $1,000. You have $1,800 left. $350 is nothing. You can afford it. So you sign the paper, you put $2,000 down, you drive off the lot, you feel incredible. You roll down the windows, you play your favorite song, you feel like you've made it. But here is what you didn't calculate. The moment you drove off the lot, that car lost 10% of its value in 1 second. In 4 years, it will be worth half of what you paid for it. Then comes the insurance. $180 a month because you're under 25. Then comes the gas, $60 a week. Then comes the oil changes, the new tires, the registration fees. That $350 payment quickly becomes $650 a month. That's $7,800 a year, going into a metal box that is slowly rusting and losing value. But you don't notice it at first. You just notice that you're a little more stressed. You can't afford to go out to dinner with your friends. You start putting groceries on a credit card. You traded your future flexibility for a steering wheel. You didn't buy a car, you bought a liability. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket every single month. So let's rewind. Let's say you ignored the car. You decided to be smart. You decided to buy the house. You saved up for 2 years. You have $12,000. It's enough for a 3.5% down payment on a small $200,000 starter home. Everyone congratulates you. Your parents are proud. You post a picture with the keys on Instagram. You feel like a real adult. You move in. The first month is amazing. You paint the walls. You buy a couch. And then the water heater breaks. It costs $1,800. You don't have $1,800. You have a mortgage now. So you put it on a credit card. Then the property tax bill arrives. It's $2,400. You didn't budget for that. Then the HOA fee goes up. Then the roof starts leaking. You realize something terrifying. You don't own the house. The bank owns the house. You are just paying them for the privilege of fixing their broken pipes. Yes, you are building equity. But in the first 5 years of a mortgage, your monthly payment is almost entirely interest. You are paying the bank thousands of dollars a year, and your principal balance barely moves. You are 23 years old. You are chained to a piece of land. You can't take a job offer in another city because you have to sell the house first. You can't take a risk and start a business because if you miss one paycheck, the bank takes your home. You thought buying a house was buying an asset, but an asset puts money in your pocket. Right now, this house is a giant leaking liability that is eating your youth. You are sitting on the floor of your empty living room. You are 24. You are exhausted. You look at your bank account. It's empty. And you realize something. The advice your parents gave you was for a different time, a time when houses cost $40,000 and you worked at the same factory for 40 years. You are living in a completely different world. You don't need a car to impress people. You don't need a house to prove you're an adult. What you need is time. What you need is cash flow. What you need is mobility. Here is what you should have done. Here is the quiet blueprint. First, you buy the cheapest, most reliable transportation you can find. You buy a 2010 Honda Civic with 120,000 miles on it. It costs $4,000. You pay cash. It's not flashy. The paint is slightly faded, but it gets 35 miles to the gallon. The insurance is $60 a month. If someone hits it in a parking lot, you don't care. It doesn't own you. Second, you rent. Yes, you throw away money on rent, but you rent a small room in a house with a roommate. Your rent is $600 a month. Why? Because rent is the maximum you will pay. A mortgage is the minimum you will pay. If the AC breaks, the landlord fixes it. If the property tax goes up, it's not your problem. You have mobility. If you get a job offer 3 states away tomorrow, you can be packed up by the weekend. You have bought yourself flexibility. Flexibility is the most valuable asset a young person can have. Now, let's look at the math. Instead of a $400 car payment and a $1,500 mortgage, you have a $60 car insurance payment and $600 rent. You just freed up over $1,200 a month. You take that $1,200 and you buy actual assets. You open a brokerage account. You buy an S&P 500 index fund. You buy pieces of the 500 largest companies in the world. You let it sit. You don't touch it. By the time you are 28, that money has compounded. It has grown. You didn't have to fix a single leaky roof. You didn't have to pay a single mechanic. And suddenly, the dividends from your investments are paying for your car. And eventually, they will pay for your house. You don't buy a car first. You don't buy a house first. You buy assets first. The car will come. The house will come. But they should be the reward for your investments, not the chains that keep you from investing. When you are young, your greatest weapon is time. Your greatest weapon is the ability to move, to take risks, to fail, and to start over. Don't trade that weapon for a depreciating metal box. Don't trade it for a mortgage that keeps you awake at night. Keep your life small. Keep your expenses low. Buy your freedom first. And then, when you can truly afford it, buy the rest. Nobody will applaud you for driving a beat-up Civic. Nobody will throw you a party for renting a room. But one day, in your 30s, you'll look at your bank account. You'll realize you don't owe anyone a single dollar. And that quiet realization is worth more than any house or any car you could ever buy.